Alright, looks like we are at 90. Nice. Alright, well, we'll go ahead and get started. Hopefully I won't take too much of your time, but I appreciate you all for joining this MatrixGold Update Live event. So we're going to talk about the latest update to MatrixGold. For those that don't know me, my name is Bo Valo. I'm the Senior Training Developer over here at GymVision. I'm streaming live from Stellar HQ and GymVision HQ in beautiful Lafayette, Louisiana. Hopefully some of you guys have been here before. Hey Roger, long time no see, man. Welcome. Yeah, we're here to talk about MatrixGold and the latest update, show you guys some of the new commands and tools. Yeah, for those that don't know me, as I said, my name is Bo Valo. I've been with Stellar about 9 years now. Started over in the CAD CAM department, which is the custom production and fulfillment side of Stellar. Focus a lot on intaking customer files and validating them for production. After validation, I went to the sketch team, which is the custom design team. You know, customers send in their ideas or sketches, and they might not have the technical abilities to complete it. So that's kind of what I did in CAD CAM. From there, I came over to GymVision and had a vacancy in the training department, and they thought I'd be a good fit. And as they say, the rest is history, right? I see a lot of familiar faces. Like I said in the beginning, I appreciate you all for being here. We know your time is valuable, especially as a designer or even a jewelry store owner, right? You wear many hats. So yeah, we'll go ahead and cover a lot of the commands and tools that we've added. We get a lot of feedback from users, and as much as you guys don't think we listen, right? So the first thing we want to showcase, let me go ahead and switch my screen over, right? First thing we want to showcase is MatrixGold and our gyms, right? So we had a lot of updates to our gyms. So the first thing I want to show you guys, let's pull in our job bag. Just have a sphere right here that I swept around. So we implemented what's called the gym placer, right? Gym placer is you can place a gym on any surface. So when I click the command, you can see it says select my surface. Now when I press enter, right, I get a nice little toolbar right here. And what this allows me to do is place a gym anywhere on the surface. Now you may be saying, oh, I've seen this in Pave. However, this one's quite a bit different, right? So we have auto place, we have X and Y mirror, and you can actually lay these out by hand. And what's cool about these, right, is they actually have magnets, right? So I can lay them out however I want. Let's do this. You see how fast you can lay these out, right? And that's kind of what that magnet feature does. So I'll just lay them out like that, and down here I'll just do a couple other ones. So once you're done with this, you can press enter, right? Also forgot to mention, right, whenever you do this, you can control the diameter and your spacing distance, right? Also your placement relative to your surface. So this kind of leads us into our next command, which is proxy gym. So proxy gym is probably one of my favorite that we have added to 3.1. And what you can do with proxy gym is provide the software with a base gym, right? So here, let's actually use our new shape, which is rose cuts, right? Everybody was asking for rose cuts, so what we can do is choose just a round rose cut. I'll shrink the size just a bit. Let's go to a 3 millimeter. Now what I can do with this is run proxy gem, right? And it says select a base gem. Now this is going to be my base, and now it says select the gems you want to convert. So I'll just choose a couple random ones in here. And when I press enter, what it actually does is takes this gem, right, and places it over our other gems. So that is our proxy gem, right? You see they are both parametric, right? Everybody knows parametric history inside of MatrixGold, right? A way of linking the commands together. So updating one will update the rest. Now, this kind of leads us into our next command, which is also a favorite of mine, MSRGem. A lot of users from Matrix and some of our legacy softwares miss the MSR feature, right? Where you're able to select any object, any gem, and just move it how you see fit, right? Well, I'm able to select any gem I want to move, open up my MSR handle, right? And I'm able to move, rotate, and even scale it, right? Now this comes in handy whenever you have those stubborn gems like something on a halo corner, right? So let's run halo, pull this guy in, and let's say one of these you want to angle just a bit. So MSR gem works great for that. I'm able to just simply pull this up, rotate them, and guess what? MSR gem is parametric as well. So editing this guy updates everything, right? And then editing my halo moves that MSR gem as well. There it is. Alright, so the next command, similar to MSR gem, right, is going to be MSR object. So just like I can move individual gems using MSR handles, I can also move objects, right? Any individual object. So what I use this for majority of the time is launching our pave prong on something like this. Let's hide this guy right here. And now let's say I want to move this prong up here, right? Normally, if I would just move this guy, right, breaks my history. No bueno. So with MSR object, I can isolate that prong and move him like this without breaking history, right? Hey Vel, how are you? And now I can do the same for this one, or I could just rotate with copy. And now we have our nice pave. Any questions on this, guys? I know we're kind of going through these kind of fast, but we kind of have a lot to go through, so just want to make sure we cover everything. Hey Arlene, glad you made it. Arlene emailed me like 3 minutes before it started. She was like, hey, I want to join the webinar, because we normally host a webinar, right? But no webinar today, Arlene. Alright, so that's MSR object, MSR gem, right? We did gem placer, and we also did proxy gem. Okay. So let me get a new document. I'm going to clear all of this. Alright, so next, and probably the most requested command to date I've seen. It's going to be custom gym builder, right? Everybody has been asking for the custom gym builder, right? So what we can actually do with this is it works similar to that of Matrix, right? You provide a curve. So with this curve, right, the command will outline it and create a gem. Now what I need to provide is going to be a curve and facet points. So what I can do is actually type point and left click. As long as my object snaps are on, right, I can add points where I want facets like this. I can run my custom gym builder and it says in my command line to select a curve. I'll select that curve and now it says select your facet points. When I select my facet points, I can press enter and you can see it's creating that elongated hex, right? So I can adjust things like culet depth, pavilion amount, girdle thickness, table height, even the facet number. I wouldn't go too high on the facet number because sometimes it gets very choppy. So there's a good median, right? And you'll have to find that median on your own, but the custom gym builder is a very useful command, right? Because we know not all stones are symmetrical. Very requested command right here. Right? And I can always come here, edit, and move it using the gumball. I can rotate it, stuff like that. So that is going to be our custom gym builder. All right, let me get a new document and we will go over another one. All right, new document. So the next one that we want to showcase is going to be pull to rail, right? Another highly requested command. Okay, so here I just have a cathedral ring rail that I swept, right? Sweep 2 and then made a little bridge with a sweep 1. So what pull to rail does is if I place an object that I want to conform to my ring rail, like this bezel, right? Just a simple bezel, nothing super crazy, but and then I can place one right here as well. Okay, normally you would have to extend this bezel past the ring rail and then cut with the ring rail to make it to your finger size, right? Well, no longer. With your pull to rail under your transform, I'm able to select my rail and select my object, press enter, and you can see how it will conform to your ring rail just like that of our legacy software. So we can do the same for our trillion and it will conform. We can take this guy and mirror to the other side. And you can see that pulled rail is parametric. So guess what? I'm able to edit things accordingly. And the model will update automatically. Now with this design right here, right, I want to showcase another, and that one's going to live in the manufacturing tab. So this one's really popular with a lot of our manufacturers out there, right? Because we know the jewelry industry has changed quite a bit. No longer are people milling, right? Everybody's growing on 3D printers and then going direct to cast, right? So you can see right here we have dynamic finger hole support and dynamic sprue. Okay, so what can we do with this? Whenever I run my dynamic sprue, it's asking me to select my ring. When I select the ring and press enter, it will automatically populate that sprue for me. Okay, now this is 3D print sprue, but you can always cut it and then sprue it to your casting tree. But you can see now that sprue is in our parametric list right here, right? So I can actually go through here and edit things about my design, and guess what? It updates. Okay, so that's the dynamic sprue. Now the next one we want to showcase is dynamic finger hole support. So just like other ones, I'm able to change the location of this, right? I can add more. I even have mirror over here, right? I can always go back and forth with the white balls like this. Shrink him. Let's mirror this guy. Something like this, right? And guess what? This guy lives here as well. So what can we do with this? Update our finger size and make changes, and because it is parametric, it will automatically update. Obviously from here, you would mesh repair and export without your gems as an STL, and you would then have a supported model to 3D print. It is very, very easy supporting. So there's also other support, commands inside of here that aren't parametric, but makes it super easy. Alright guys, so now it's going to be time for our rendering solutions, right? You made this beautiful design and now you need to showcase it to the customer, right? So Rhino, it is Rhino driven software, right? So it is 3.0 and 3.1 do bring Rhino 7 support, right? So all the things inside of Rhino you're able to utilize just like you would, inside of any other program. So, all right. So our rendering software, right, is new. Not new. Our rendering engine is new. For those that remember, on our legacy software, we implemented V-Ray. Well, V-Ray is no more, right? So currently we utilize a ray tracing engine called Cycles. Now, what can we do with Cycles? I'm not sure how many people know about ray tracing, but you're able to achieve much more lifelike, realistic images as opposed to those that just paste a picture over an object. So one of the downsides, not downsides, let's say one of the niches of ray tracing is that it obeys the natural laws of physics, light refraction, and things of the such, right? So I don't know if I have a water bottle. I don't. For those that have sat in a training with me before, you know what I'm about to do. Anyway, let's say you have water, right? And if I hold it without it touching anything, right, it's clear, you're able to see through it. However, if I put something right next to it, it'll absorb that color because your water is translucent. So that's a long way of saying whenever I want to implement a diamond or clear material to any stone and my metal is intruding into that stone, it will pick up that metal color and present it as I don't want to say dirty, but it's just not going to refract like a diamond should, right? You can see right here they're not refracting as a diamond should, and that's because the metal's intruding into it. Maybe if I do this, you can see it a little bit better, right? So, what we have done with our new materials, and for those that don't know, if you're on 3.1, what you need to do is go into your preferences, go down to Rendering Studio, and toggle on Show Render Materials tab. Now when I do that, I get a pop-up notification that says render materials are for rendering only, right? You cannot use gem report, metal weight. This is just for rendering. But once I toggle it on, I can go to my materials, right? And whenever I go to the very bottom, I get render materials as well as render gems. Okay, now these I'm able to apply just like I would any other material, right? Except now when I go to do a render, right, I don't have to boolean. And why is that? Because we developed these materials to essentially ignore interactions between the two, right? So if I were to apply and make a render, let's apply this MatrixGold Matrix Classic look. I'll choose a ground plane material. You guys know I love my shiny car paint. Let's angle him like this. Bump the passes up, and I can hit render. So now, no more Boolean just for simple renders, right? That was a big one, very requested one. Users didn't want to have to Boolean every time they wanted to get good diamond refraction. So you can see right here, right, you get great diamond refraction, and if I toggle on the NVIDIA denoiser, which is inside of our program, you can see it converts it and that diamond starts to pop. So what I can do here is just stop the rendering because it's a good rendering, right? And then I can add some post effects like blur. Let's focus on this guy. And then I can add more post effects, glow or bloom, right? Kind of get those diamonds to shine bright. And there's your render. For those that don't know, we also have a MatrixGold Academy. On the Academy, there is a rendering seminar that you can watch at no cost, and I highly recommend you go check that out. So whenever I'm on the Academy, right, I can go into the rendering, or it lives right here. So it'll show you how we can utilize our new materials to create a beauty shot or something similar. And if you guys need to renew your subscription to the online academy, right, you're able to call into Stellar and we can help you out with that. Call into Gym Vision, rather. All right. Edge softening. David, could you elaborate a bit? Are you saying there's already edge softening within the software under the rendering tab, right? You have effects right here. You have edge softening effect. So you're able to soften all the edges if you want. Yep. So The only other thing I wanted to showcase, if I go into the GenVision launcher, hopefully everybody has it, right? You're able to open up the release notes, and they will show you guys, right, step by step, all of the improvements and bug fixes and commands and features that we've added. And this is where they live. If you go to 3.0, you can see 3.0, you can see a bunch of the new commands, right? We also added advanced signet ring. Allows you to do more tapered of a signet as opposed to one that kind of has a convex arc. Also tons of improvements and updates. The only other thing I will say on this is if you guys are not updated, I highly recommend you do. If you would like to, you can reach out to our sales team at 800-357-6272, and they can definitely help you out to get you updated. Right, so now I'm going to go through the chat, see if we can answer some of your questions. Go ahead and shoot them our way. Keep us busy. You can also ask for a personal demonstration. I believe we put that link in the chat. So feel free to click that if you would like a personal one-on-one demonstration to show you guys what 3.1 is about. Hi, can you show us how to fancy vivid yellow color? Yeah, so the original material, right, of yellow right here, I'm able to apply any color, right? Let's turn these gems off because they're not going to be our new gems. And what I can actually do is go into my document properties right here. If I refresh, I have that color right here. If I select it, it'll show me what material utilizes it. Now here I have a color swatch. So if I click the drop down, right, I can change the color of that yellow using RGBA rather. So if I want something, you know, a little bit brighter and not as much shine, right, we can take it down a bit like this. We can even go super yellow, right? In dynamic sprue command, save default style is not working for me. Maybe reach out to support. That would be my recommendation. My post effects do not work. Yeah, I'd reach out to support on that, Arlene. What's the new diamond render feature? Yeah, so if you're just joining us, right, the new diamond material that we created and the new metal that we created, essentially you do not have to Boolean, right, your stones to get that good diamond refraction. Now this is something that's native to all ray tracing software, not just Cycles, right? But you're able to input your stones, apply your materials, and be done with it, right? Normally you would have to put gem cutters, make sure you didn't have any diamond or any blue showing through your gem cutter, and then actually bullying the metal away so your diamond is essentially floating. Experimental materials are game changing. They sure are. So I'm a newbie and got a new PC. I was trying to create a wirework pattern tile to use in Pattern Builder. Is there a place I can add my own Pattern build. Are you talking about texture? Texture 3D? Yeah, you should be able to throw them into the project directory. I'm pretty sure, because they just pull from like your collections, your library and stuff. Will there also be 18K colors available soon? You're talking about experimental? So our idea behind this is to release the most commonly used, like the 14K rows, polished and matte. And then, if we see good use out of them, right, develop more, let me undo that. Yeah, to develop more materials. So we didn't know how big of a hit these were going to be. From the looks of it, it seems like they're a pretty good hit, right? So yeah, we'll have to focus on developing more. Why do STL conversions in MatrixGold come out so rough and bumpy compared to Legacy? STL conversions should not be doing anything. I would check whenever you export, right? Let's just choose this guy. You should get a little thing that says how many polygons you would like. So when you get that, go ahead and crank it all the way up. Yeah, because exporting is the same as Rhino 5, right, to Rhino 7. All we're doing is just taking this and exporting it as a different file type. There's no surface conversion or anything. I'm curious about custom gem and what we create with our gem cutters to automatically cut. I'm curious, do custom gems that we create work with? That I don't know. I'm not sure if they worked in legacy software. We'll have to test that out. Can you add a 9-carat alloys as standard? My country is yeah, that's true, Michael. 9-carat. Yeah, we'll have to look into that. Matthew, sorry. If you go into miscellaneous materials right here, right, you have tons of different other materials. And if you're a member of the online academy, like I spoke about, hopefully you are. But if you are, I have personally created a rendering curriculum right here. Right, so here's all of our videos about rendering, but you see right here, creating custom render materials, right? So you're able to import PBR materials and, you know, create any type of material you would want. All right, guys. Well, if there are no other questions, that'll do it from our end. The last thing I want to showcase, we're trying to build back that community we once had, specifically on our GemVision forum. So here you can see we have launched a forum. This is a couple, I'd say about a year old, maybe a little longer. But inside, right, you have our two softwares, and you can come in here and into any one of these, right, and post about it and converse with like-minded individuals that like designing. So yeah, we still have a forum, so be sure to check that out. Did not know that render materials did not require booleans for rendering. Yep. Yeah, Michael, you do have to turn it on. As long as you're on version 3.1, right? This is what it's for, the update. You can go into the Render Studio, toggle this on right here, show render material tabs, and when I do, I get the metals and render gems down here. Hello, is there a free download for students? There is not. So we do have partnered colleges. So if you are interested in being if you're a student and you go to a partnered college, you are able to get a student license. And I will show you where those live. If we go to gymvision.com, go to our Learning tab, and we scroll down. Here we have GymVision Educational Partners, right? So what we're able to do is come here. I don't know where you're located, but these are all our educational partners globally. So any one of these, right, you're able to get an education license. Now that license is only, I think, 6 months while you're in school, and then you're also able to get a student to commercial upgrade. When I change shank in collection, split shank ring, the metal disappears. Yeah, so the split shank was updated a while back, so I'm not sure what version you're on, but if you're on the most recent, it should work. Turquoise rendering. I would probably create my own, Michael. You can go online and do like a turquoise color map. Turquoise stone color map. Something like this, right? And then I can import this and create a material and save it into my custom material or user materials right here. Right, you see I have tons of materials inside of here that I personally created. One of my favorites is actually the custom opal. Let's close this. Black opal. Let's apply this guy. Whenever you do, you sometimes have to reset your ray trace view. Right, so that's my black opal. For also, you guys can import PBR materials, which are physically based render materials. If you've sat in a render seminar of mine, you're able to apply those, right? And these give your object much more depth, right? So there's a bunch of different maps that create this material. So you can see how they accept the light, and let's pull it down here so you guys can see it a little bit better. See how it gives it depth and thickness? So I can make it work in the normal window, but when I click render, it becomes transparent. Would the same be possible for Tiger's Eye stone? Yep. All you would have to do is pull a color map and create your own material. So, all right, guys. Well, I think I've taken enough of your time. I certainly appreciate you all for joining and taking the time out of your busy day to watch me click around on a computer. You know, a while back, we were getting a lot of feedback, and we just want you guys to know we are working, we are listening, and we are implementing those changes. So you can rest assured that you're with the right software. Alright guys, well, my name is Bo from Gym Vision, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Thanks Arlene, you too. Bye guys.